Okay, girls, what are we going to talk about today? How about we talk about let's get physical, physical.
Y'all
Yeah.
do? Have y'all seen that Tybo's coming back? It's making all the rage.
Is it really?
I I had a
Tybo's.
Tybo DVD
Oh, girl,
and
I had the VHS.
ooh, you beat me on that one.
I
Like
loved it. Billy Banks, yes, he was
Billy
awesome.
Banks. Yep, loved him. What happened to him?
I'm not sure, but the videos are making a comeback. People are posting about how they're doing Tybo and how they're like, this is ridiculously hard and working all these muscles, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, yes, it was hard. Sarah,
Zumba.
did y'all do Tybo in the UK?
I don't remember doing Taibo, but one of the ones that I have been involved in is all like the body pump, the body combat, and that was so hard. So it was kind of like a more of a spin-off from that, I think. The body combat, same kind of thing. Lots of punching, lots of kicking, lots of doing a hiya, like jumping up in the air and watching.
Saying it.
But this stuff would kick your butt. Wow, I
Well,
didn't even.
now it's strength training is making all the headlines because now we're figuring out how important strength training is, especially for women, not just men,
Mhm.
and what that actually looks like. It's not lifting 5 pound weights, ladies, it's lifting heavy weights and doing it pretty often.
Yeah, but also it's real important as well. And I always joke because some people think that they're like getting that maybe now that they're 40 and have got hormonal changes, we've got connective issue changes, we go and pick up something because we used to do that 5 years ago and think, oh, I can just start this. And then we end up with all kinds of torn shoulders or hip issues or plantar fasciitis issues. Just we may need to just slightly ease into rather than going straight into it. Kind of following on from that whole Tybo thing, another one as well that a lot of people are getting into is pickleball. Probably the physical therapists are like rubbing their hands together right now because they're like, yeah, keep going with this because you're keeping us in business.
For sure. Well, yeah, pickleball is really big here in the Midwest. But back to when we were talking about Taebo, the next obsession of mine. I did Taebo when I was single, got married, had kids, lost that pre-wedding body. So I got into Zumba, and
Yeah.
Zumba was super fun because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not really a dancer, but it's fun to move around. It was fun music. And I actually did lose a lot of weight that way, but I was also in my late 20s. I was breastfeeding. There were so many things. I'm sure my hormones were top notch at that point. So it was easy to kind of shed that weight. Much different story now. And so going along with what Sarah's saying, where you have to understand where you're at and that it's not going to be what it was 10 years ago. How many clients have we worked with who are like, I did this 10 years ago and it was no problem? And I'm like, that was then, this is now, baby. Your body's in a
We're a
whole.
whole new person now.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're bringing back memories for me here, Susan. In my mind, when I do Zumba, I feel like I am moving like that instructor. But the
Yes.
reality is not
We
quite
are.
like that. My hips do not move like that.
Yes.
I actually got Zumba qualified, actually, as one of the things that
Oh,
I did.
wow.
And I enjoyed it. But it was just like, oh my gosh, learning all this choreography. There's certain people that can do Zumba because their body kind of moves like that. I had to step back and say, yeah, it was a good experience. But I was the body pump girl. I love body pump. So the Les Mills, I really was loving that. Yeah.
I think I'm much better with weights instead of dancing. One of my corporate jobs, me and some of my coworkers who I'm still good friends with to this day, we used to turn on videos during our lunch hour in a conference room and we would work out together. And so we had this great idea we were going to do Zumba. We turned on some Zumba videos. I'm telling you, I think we all peed in our pants. We were laughing so hard. So that's like my most recent image of Zumba is just like literally we all for real had some accidents because we were laughing so hard at each other. Because you're right, nobody looks that good during Zumba, but it was so fun.
It is. It's so fun. And I think that it brings actually a really important conversation about exercise. And again, I'm not saying just for women, but in my experience, I've worked with people on exercise for over 30 years. And one of the things that I've recognized is men are really good at going out and they'll do their routine. Women, and again, not all women, being a bit general here, that it's a bit about the social. It's about laughing at each other. It's about, yeah, okay, I'm in pain. And your friend is like, yeah, I'm burning. And then you go to sit on the toilet and you can't stand up again. And you're like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Right. And we like that social aspect of working out. That's why I always loved group exercise, because group exercise seems to be what brings people together. And also with exercise, one of the things that's great is how things have seasons. So like we're saying here, Tae. I don't know, did any of you do step aerobics? I love step aerobics.
Yeah, I did too.
We did
I would do that at home. I've got my step, doing a little dance.
I remember.
Rocking horse, all of these little things that we would do off the bench. And have any of you done that one where you're like the bungee working out? Have any of you?
Oh, I so want to do that. I have not.
The only thing I've seen was my 16-year-old daughter showed me a SNL skit where they were joking that all the women that do it basically just like hang on these things and drink wine while they're doing it. Like it's not really a workout. And they're like eating candy bars while they go. What you were talking about, Sarah, where it's just like more of a club that you can go and socialize rather than an actual workout session. I have not tried that, but I feel like you need to be a Cirque du Soleil acrobat.
You gotta have some balance, probably.
Yeah.
I've seen those videos though where they're like jumping and then they miss their feet and then they're like spinning out of control and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, oh, I have to go do this.
A bit like modern day bowling, isn't it? Like
I love it.
10-pin bowling. Like here you are, you lose control and you take out all your friends.
Yes, I love it. I think that we should meet for one of those classes. There's got to be something in the middle of all three of us, somewhere in middle America, that we can
Nashville. By Nashville would
do a bungee class.
Yeah, it's a bit like the other ones. Have you seen the other ones where you wear the particular shoes? Don't know what it's called, but there are like roller skates. Instead of having wheels, it's got like a metal piece so that it kind of like pings up and down and you can bounce on it.
Weird.
It was like being on a pogo stick.
Like a pogo stick. Yeah, I used to love the pogo stick. I would have hours of fun on my pogo stick.
Same. Until you hit that crack in the cement and you went flying.
You go down. You heard of that thing called Pilates?
Oh no, don't even go there, Brittany. Brittany.
Please don't leave me alone.
Brittany.
Apparently there's a camp of either I hate Pilates or I love it.
I'm out there. I'll tell you, for me personally, I did Pilates. I was trying to get back into working out after having children and all these things. And I knew I was really inflamed. I was having all these hormone issues and all kinds of stuff happening. But I knew I needed something to like ease my way back into working out. And so I did join a Pilates. I did it for a couple months. And then for me personally, I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting stronger. Nothing was changing. And some of those classes were really hard. Absolutely. There's like a cardio one that was like insane. But I just wasn't really seeing progress. And like I said, for me, I know I need to be doing like heavy weights, HIIT workouts. Those are the things that work for my body. Just all my different types of workouts over the years. I just know now what works best for me.
Yeah. As someone who was sort of athletic in high school, but no one is remembering me in high school as an athlete, if that makes sense. I was kind of a jack of all trades, master of nothing. I was on the Palms dance team. I was okay at that. I was on the JV soccer team, not a good soccer player, but I was on it. On the swim team, I wasn't a lifelong swimmer like my friends. So point is, I never had this super athletic fit body to begin with. Upper body strength was always something that I just wasn't born with. And I felt like some of my friends just were naturally, like you were saying, Sarah, with Zumba, your body either is kind of made for it or it's not, and I was just very average. So I find that Pilates is actually very challenging for me. I do break a sweat. That's probably
I would sweat some. I just wasn't like,
Yeah.
I was never very sore from Pilates.
Yeah. I joke and I jest about it. And if you know me, that's why I think Brittany brought it up, because she knows how much that it's like a swear word in my book. But as we talk about second season health here, it is about what is good for you in that season. For me, I just don't like that burn-in. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, why are you going to prolong all this pain, right? I'd rather just lift some weights. It's about finding what's suitable for you, what feels good for you, but also making sure that you're listening into the body, because again, sometimes we can get carried away because it's the new fad. But is it actually good for your body? Is it actually getting you the muscle tone that you need? Is it supporting you mentally, physically, and emotionally? It's not just about the physical exercise. That equally has to be taken into account too. So not everybody wants rippling muscles or the six pack, or some people just want to be able to sit and stand off the toilet without worrying that they might not get up again, or they might end up with their butt stuck in the toilet, right? So every person is different. And again, fads are what's always interesting as we go through these different seasons and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, I don't know if ever you did this, girls. I might be dating myself a little bit. But when I was younger, in my garage of my parents, everybody wanted to have like the perfect breast. And we would always be doing this. I must. And then we're doing Jane Fonda and we're wearing the leggings. And then we go out and we get the G-string leotard. We get the headband. We get the shiny leotard with the little cutouts.
The Olivia Newton-John record.
There you go.
Then CD.
Let's get physical. But we always have those gurus as well, those fitness gurus. I remember one in the UK, Mr. Motivator, and
I like that.
yeah. And then there was what was her name? There was the Gillian Michaels of the world.
Yeah.
Rosemary
really like her.
Connolly. She might have been a British one. And then the guy that I was thinking about is Joe Wicks. What have you guys got here in the US?
Well, I mean, in the 80s, of course, it was Jane Fonda. Then it was like for people in their second season in the 80s and 90s, it was Richard Simmons.
Right.
Went to the oldies. You remember him? You had mentioned Gillian Michaels, although I do like her. But there was a British woman, and she was a nutritionist. She would transform people's lives by taking them away for like 6 weeks or something, and they would live with her. And she would teach them how to eat. What was her name? Gillian something.
Yes, McKeith, I think it is McKeith or something like that.
Something like that.
And I loved that show because I always wanted a bit. Like they stopped that show, but I think that we should reintroduce this show.
They need to bring it back because I learned so much by watching it. Because I thought, I mean, and she had extreme cases.
Yes.
Oh, it was so
Gillian,
good.
And
yes,
if
Gillian
anybody
McKeith.
watches this and we got it wrong, then they can tell us. But one of the big things about that woman was that she would bring everybody in and she'd say, this is kind of like what you eat in a week or something. And they'd lay it out all over the table and then they'd see what they were eating. And then the other thing that they would do live on air was they would make them go to the bathroom, poop in a container, and then she would discuss the poop on screen.
Yes. And it was eye-opening.
I always aspired to be this person, and I always want to have in my bathroom a picture on the wall of the perfect poop.
The perfect poop. Yes, exactly. I'm telling you, it was such a good show. There were tons of British shows that were just awesome, and that was definitely one of them. Gillian McKeith. She was such a firecracker. She was no nonsense. She wouldn't take any crap, and most people would see the wisdom in what she was saying and what she was doing, and she would change their lives. I'd say 9 out of 10 people had tremendous success working with her. They never really sat down to think about movement or, what kind of exercise would work for my body. I'm not really thinking about what I'm eating. I'm just sort of eating all day long because I'm used to that. Like they weren't even working with their hunger cues.
So she was almost like that pioneer for us to understand what the gut can tell us about somebody's whole potential. There was another show as well in the UK, which would look at families, and then it would naturally show, if you continue this lifestyle, this is what it's going to look like. These could be the potential diseases that you may have if you carry on. Sometimes we perhaps need that. Yeah, I need to change my ways here because
realization. Yeah.
I think, just taking the time, even during exercise. A lot of times you can still stay in that sort of distracted state where you're always listening to music. And it's like, sometimes it can really help you stay present, that physical movement, even taking a walk, no distractions, no phones, just being in nature really kind of resets the mind to be in that alpha state rather than that zombie beta state that our world leads us into so often.
And actually that brings us to another really important thing, which up until recently I didn't know. I'm like, where did this 10,000 steps a day come from? And I literally just posted this on my
I love the post that you did too.
You did that? You like that post?
I loved it.
Because it was just like, why am I chasing this 10,000 steps? Like, again, we've been conditioned to be like, oh, we've got to set this goal, and 10,000. Who said that's the ideal? And I didn't realize that it actually came from a Japanese marketing campaign. And that's where they put this 10,000 number. But again, driving us back into listening to what the body says. But just getting movement in the day is one of the most important things. I always think about the analogy of the human body. Half of the body is made of legs. So does that not tell you that probably we should be using these legs on a day-to-day basis? But how many of us are actually sitting on our butts all day?
Yeah.
Love that. I think they were selling pedometers or something, and they just pulled this 10,000 out of thin air and then made it to be like Bible. Like everyone has to hit 10,000 steps a day. And guess what? They sold a lot of pedometers, I'm pretty certain. Because then people are all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, how many steps am I getting in a day? And I'm not hitting 10,000. I got to track it. But really the number is to make a difference in your health is like 5,000 to 7,000 a day. Yeah. So sometimes pushing yourself to be walking around at midnight so you hit that number on your watch, you know, like you'd be better off sleeping.
Yeah, you've been following me, Brittany, in the past. I feel like, oh my God, I haven't got my steps in. What's going to happen now tomorrow?
Oh, I think we've all done it. Me and my husband both have been like circling the kitchen, like, oh my God, you know? And it's like, what are we doing here?
What
should we sleep?
Is that disconnect? Again, all of us here as practitioners will say, we're not gurus. We're not here to tell you this is exactly what you should do. But what we are here to do is to empower all of you to listen to your body, not to give your power away to anybody else, to actually find what I call that inner knowing, that inner wisdom, and listen to it, right? So that you can actually be like, well, today I was going to go for a hike, but maybe, like I say, walking around the neighborhood is perfectly okay today. And then tomorrow you find out, oh, actually, I was fighting off a dreadful stomach bug or a cold. That's why the body was saying, not today, please. Let's just kind of pull back.
Definitely. Just to coattail off of that, learning to trust your own, as you said, that inner wisdom. Trust yourself. No one knows your body better than you do. Not your doctor, not any of us. No one knows my body better than me because I've been living in this thing for almost 45 years. Learn to trust yourself. This marketing campaign of 10,000 steps, or, oh, I've got to be doing this, or this is the newest fad. If that's what your body is wanting to do, then listen to it. But if it's something that you're fighting and you know is like, I just feel really awkward doing this, it doesn't come easily, probably a good indication that your body is wanting some different method.
Learning to listen to your body. That's what you got to do. And it's hard. It's hard work.
I think that this is a new age as we kind of come in talking about gurus and things like that. These are people to guide us ultimately for us to find what works for us, but also in those different seasons of our life. Like I remember I worked at a gym when I was at college, and it was one of the brand new things ever. And they had these beds. And so you would lie down on the beds and you would push the button and the machines would just lift your legs up and down or out and out, right? Or your arms in and out. But it would all be done by the machine. And it was the biggest thing.
Did it have like a food tray?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was like, yeah, like, let me just drink my rum and coke right now whilst I'm lying here. I'm doing the exercise, but there is a purpose for that, right? So if we've got people coming through rehab and things like that, some of these things can be really good. And thinking about that craziness of that, right? What have we now got? Vibration plates.
Vibration plates.
Yep.
I've got one right here.
It comes around. Right?
It does. I remember looking at that and I thought, why don't they make those anymore? In the 50s, they had those gyration belts that like you saw the models using, and it would kind of like jiggle those love handles and those hips. There is some logic. It is still moving. It's moving that lymph, and that movement is so important. And another kind of cool thing I've been coming across is that in regards to how the brain works, when you do that hard thing, like as Brittany said, it's hard work. So if you feel your body can handle it, it is worth pushing yourself, because if you don't feel like working out that day, but you know you can, or there's no reason not to, sometimes that reward is so worth it, then you end up feeling that much better in your brain about it. And that's why it keeps you coming back. I'm butchering it right now, but again, another study where your brain stays stuck in this certain spot. when you're sedentary and when you're doing a bad habit that you know is probably not good for you. There's this like point at which it operates in. And so when you do the opposite thing, even though it's really hard, your brain almost like overcompensates. And so that's why you end up feeling really good. Like that's the runner's high that people get. That's the like working out. I really didn't feel like doing it, but once I got it done, man, did I feel good. So just to know that like there's that bright light on the other side that is all payoff. There's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of exercise or a little bit of walking or even stretching. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just going to get benefits from it if within reason, if you're not going to go crazy on yourself.
Exercising releases endorphins, right? And so there's only certain ways you can do that. And it's probably one of the healthiest ways to do that is by exercising. I tell people in my gym that I work in all the time, you never regret a workout. At the end of the workout, you're always happy you did it. And you feel even better as the day progresses, right? Starting your day with a workout for me is the best way to start my day. Even if I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just want to stay in bed or I don't want to do this. You never regret it. I've never left the gym going, man, I really wish I just hadn't worked out today.
Yeah.
Well, I do think that sometimes in perimenopause that it can actually be better for us to stay in bed and maybe do a different type of exercise rather than pushing through a workout. Because there are people as well that get addicted to that endorphin rush and then the body's screaming. And that's when we can then fall into the adrenals, the adrenal
That's true.
fatigue.
Yeah.
Quite often I feel that a lot of people have adrenal fatigue and then that has that knock-on effect to thyroid. We've got all of these people that say that they have thyroid disease, whereas actually some of the issues could have been combated by supporting the adrenals earlier on and not always pushing through things. I've seen far too many people addicted to exercise. So again, everything's about balance.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
But again,
and same. If you wake up one day and your body is screaming at you, then listen. Don't force it to go do something or force it to hit those steps or whatever it may be. We need to bookmark that though, and we should do a whole episode on just the HPA axis, the whole adrenal system. We will absolutely do that and how everything affects that. And I have a whole story on how they thought I had all these thyroid issues, and it was all just from stress and the adrenals. And once I fixed that, I never needed thyroid medicine again. I really didn't even need it then. But every doctor and my lab work said I needed T3 and T4 and all the things. So we should definitely spend a whole episode talking about that.
And to be fair, Brittany is the youngest of us three. And so for her right now, doing the HIIT workouts is working a lot better for her body. And for me, it is Pilates. And Sarah certainly knows she's a master of many of these things as well. What you're certified, right?
Yeah, I've been in health and fitness exercise for 30 years. It's amazing to see some of the transitions. I'm not necessarily a master, like I don't see myself that way, but I've seen a lot of things and actually being able to pinpoint those and see those habits and traits in people be like, no, I think you need to just kind of pull back just a little bit. But again, we're our own personalities. But I agree, Brittany, we totally need to talk about that adrenal thyroid because I think this is a huge piece that's often missed.
And spoiler alert, you don't have to be on thyroid medicine forever. Spoiler.
Who knew?
Who knew? There's a lot for us to talk about. So we're excited to continue our discussions. But hopefully today we've brought some thoughts about exercise. We would love for everybody to drop in the comments below some of their favorite forms of exercise, what they remember that they used to love in the past. Let's share some of our experiences with each other.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I think the general idea here is all movement is good movement for the most part, as long as it feels good to your body. But getting out there and doing something is better than doing nothing. And all movement counts. Whatever your next best thing is for your body is what we encourage you to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything in balance, right? We do not need extremes. So love it, love it, love it.
100%.
All right.
Well, all right, ladies.
Thank you.
Until next time.
It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Until next time.
Absolutely. See you all next time.
Bye-bye.